Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time. I kinda took a break from playing MapleStory and really uploading anything recently, but we just got an announcement that we have a new reboot world, which is why I'm back. I am a big fan of doing these sorts of things. If you guys have followed the channel and watched my stuff before, I love challenging myself to do solo progression, and what better way to do it than in a new world. I technically could have done it similar to how I did my Corsair, if you guys have seen that series, where I took a new account and then got it to Easy Lucid or wherever I got to. But now that we actually have a alternative world, I can actually play on this account. I don't need to log into a new account to be able to play in Reboot. So I think this will be a lot of fun, and I will definitely give it a try at a new solo progression. And yeah, I'm just gonna take it kind of easy. I'm not going to try to sweat it out or anything. It's been already like 5 or 6 hours since the patch is released, so I'm not really trying to maximize my efficiencies or anything like that. Just trying to have a good time, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So first things first, let's create our character. So I'll see you guys in just a bit, and I'll show you which class I have already decided to main for this new world. So here we are, guys. I have decided on making a resistance class. You can see here on the bottom right, I have assigned it as my hyper-burning character, so it will level up super fast to 260, and we'll get a lot of rewards along the way. The most important thing to notice, I guess, is the class. The one I decide to choose is a resistance character, of course. I'm going to decide to play Battle Mage. The reason why I decided to pick Battle Mage is pretty simple, actually. I just wanted to play a support class, even though I am technically playing as a solo player, and I won't really be able to make use of my supporting skill set. I still wanted to play a support character, so in the off event that I decide to actually play in a party, I have the option of, you know, having a pretty, I guess, reliable class, and a class that people will actually take into parties. Especially now that we are in a new server, I think having an influx of DPS characters and burst characters, they are the most popular, so might be a bit more difficult to find a party, but I think as a support player, my spot in parties would be more or less guaranteed. But other than that, I just think that I really wanted to play a resistance character, and I think out of all the resistance characters, Battle Mage interested me the most. And yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Let's just get through this tutorial, and we can talk through a little bit more about the stuff we need to get going regarding the account progression. Alright, it took a little bit, but we finally got through the Elder Stein tutorial. I forget how long these tutorials are, kinda. Like the 0 to 10 levels are a lot longer than you'd expect. But yeah, we're finally here in the hideout. Now we should be able to pick our class now. And like I said, I am decided to play Battle Mage. So let's choose that. And confirm. So here we go. This will be my hyper burning, and this is, I guess, my entire progression. It will just be on this Battle Mage, and I'll be working on the rest of the account as well. I still do need to rely on things like Links and Legion to progress the character. The only difference compared to this, and I guess my Bishop series, that I only did like 3 parts of, the main thing, I guess, was that I already had everything and it wasn't that interesting to watch. It was just another mule in the progress. But this one is like a full account, so hopefully this will be more interesting for you guys, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. So let's just get started. The first thing I want to try to do is just to get to level 30 and get into the theme dungeons. That way I can get some kind of equips going, because they do give some pretty cheap equips that we can Star Force, and they'll give us some pretty fast levels as well. So yeah, let's get our way to level 30 first. So I'll see you guys at the first theme dungeon. So we basically just hit level 30 and I guess level 32, and as soon as I did that I got the wolf portal that's sent me to level 35, so that was pretty convenient. I kind of just stuck it out on this map until I got to level 30, and now we can actually move on to our second job advancement and then move on to the theme dungeons. The theme dungeons I'm actually looking forward to, because at least you level up pretty quickly, and I don't really know how much EXP we're going to get from it. Hopefully within 2 theme dungeons we should be at level 70, or at least level 65 or something like that, and that'll be a pretty comfortable amount of EXP that is really easy to get. So we'll see how much EXP we actually get from the theme dungeons, but first let's go do our second job advancement. And there we have it, our second job advancement. Thankfully this one was pretty straightforward compared to some of the others we had to do. And now we can actually do some pretty good damage. I believe we unlock some more mobbing skills. So Dark Chain is a pretty convenient one, has a bit more range than our usual attack, which is nice. One thing that I kind of forgot about Battle Mage was kind of how slow its training is. It's because the main mobbing attack is pretty melee, right? It's like right in front of it, so yeah, it's not very good in terms of mobbing up to level 200. So this might take a while, but that's okay. You get a lot better after 5th job, so we just have to kind of suck it up until then. And yeah, let's go towards some of the theme dungeons, and also probably check out some of the rewards that we get for starting up a hyperburning character. So I believe there are a few things. So here we have the new Hyperion server stuff. So for reaching certain levels, we get a bunch of stuff, which is really nice. We get, you know, a bunch of money, which is always always welcome, and EXP coupons and teleport rocks. So I'll just go claim that in a sec. Another thing we get is this Reboot gift box. It's similar to the Hyperion like supply package thing. It's just more stuff we get for having a character in a Reboot world. So the first character we get, we'll get all these things as well. So the rewards are pretty similar, but at the end of the day, it's just like some amount of money and some really like convenience, quality of life things that will get us started in the server. Now, before going to the theme dungeon, I do want to talk about this 0 to 100 thing. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but this is day 1 of the new server, and I just want to say I probably won't be touching this for my main, because you're only allowed to use this 7 times across your whole account. And because I figured that my Hyperburn is going to level up super fast anyway, I'm not going to use this 0 to 100 event on it. For those who don't know what the event is, it's just basically like it lets you train a character from 0 to 100 super fast. Like the training grounds it gives you is amplified EXP and better mob spawn and very good layout on the map, so you level up super fast. And I'm going to save that for classes I think are bad to train, and I'll probably do one today in this video as well. We'll just get my main to where I like it first, and then we'll come back for this 0 to 100 event. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's start off with our first theme dungeon, and that one is, I think I'm going to do Rihanna Straight. This one is one of the easier ones to do, and also it gives us a belt and one of the face or eye accessories. I forget which one it is. They're both just items we can Star Force, get some cheap stars and cheap stats early, so can't go wrong with a little bit of extra damage. So let's just go to Rihanna Straight and we'll go through this theme dungeon. Oh, another thing before we go straight into the theme dungeon, I haven't left all the quests just yet. I do want to go into Ardent Mill. And the reason for this is because I want to start herbalism and mining. I'll probably end up finding things along the way like plants and rocks, and those things you can get some pretty useful materials from, and we might as well harvest them. Particularly for this character, eventually I will have to craft a shield, and to be able to craft a shield I do need some random materials. So materials from mining and materials from herbalism will always, you know, it can't hurt. So just need to get level 1 just to get them started, and yeah, we can kind of just forget about it until later. Just a little thing that you should always do on a main character, I suppose. Alright, enough talking, let's get back into the theme dungeon. Okay, and there we have it. Just finished up the Rihanna Straight questline. This whole questline gave a lot more XP than I expected. I think we started at like 35 and we ended up at 62, so it's a lot more than I thought. I thought it needed to take 2 of the theme dungeons to get to even 65, but having 1 and then we're at 62 is already pretty amazing. I guess the main thing to do now is just have a look where we are. We're level 62, so we can do our 3rd job advancement, which is really good. We get some small upgrades. We get our face accessory and our belt. And we're just going to quickly Star Force these, so then we can go train in the Star Forcing areas once we get to them. And yeah, just a second, let's just quickly Star Force these up. And with these Star Forced up, they'll give us a little bit of damage. It's not much, but we'll take whatever we can get in the early stages, right? Before we move on to the next theme dungeon, I do want to do one more. I want to do the Gold Beach one because that one's really easy. And personally, I'm not a big fan of grinding on mobs early on. It feels very boring, I guess, and at least when you're doing the theme dungeons, you're going through different maps. You're basically doing the same thing, you're smacking mobs anyway. But at least you get to move around here and there. Let's see, is there anything else we need to do? I think that's pretty much the main thing. If we forget anything, we can always come back for it, so it's not a big deal. But for now, we're at level 62, so we should go and do our third job advancement. So let's go through that. Now that we've unlocked third job, I think our mobbing gets a little bit better. I believe in third job we unlock Dark Shock. Yep, we do. Okay, thank God. This just lets us do a little bit more damage when we teleport, which is kind of nice. And I'll always appreciate a little bit of extra damage when it comes to mobbing on Battle Mage. It's a lot to be desired, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Once we hit our fifth job, that's our goal. Our fifth job is going to be a lot better. Anyway, let's get going on to our Gold Beach adventures. That should get us to probably somewhere in the level 70s. And from there we can move on to the next theme dungeon, which would be Afterlands. And if you guys have followed my channel, you guys know that I've done Afterlands like 100 times. I just think that the theme dungeon gives you really good XP, and the fact that it gives us a nice equip as well, it will give us 3 totems for our character, it helps us fill out our slots a little bit more, is always welcome. So let's get Gold Beach done, and we'll get moving on to the Afterlands afterwards. Up to this point, I haven't really said anything during the whole theme dungeons component of this, I guess, series. But I just want to say one thing. Can I say how much I appreciate Battle Mage's Dark Shock when it one-shots? I know I'm like really over-leveled for these theme dungeons, but holy, it's just satisfying just going around zapping everything and not having to press any buttons other than just to teleport. It just feels so good. That's all I had to say. I just want to say I appreciate Dark Shock so much. Thank you, third job. And there we go, we finally finished Gold Beach. I got a lot of levels actually already at 80 here. That's like 20 levels from just doing the pre-quests. I didn't actually intend on finishing Gold Beach. I was going to stop at around 75 because I think that's when you unlock the Afterlands. Yep, it unlocks at 75, but I figured that like I'm almost done with it, so I might as well go through with the whole thing. And also it gives me these earrings. They're not better by any means compared to the single earring, but I just like the way it looks. Anyway, let's move on to the next, and I think final theme dungeon for this part. I don't think I'll be doing much more theme dungeons after this one. We can move on to the Afterlands. So for those who aren't aware, Afterlands is kind of like a puzzle theme dungeon that if you haven't done before, I highly recommend you looking up a guide. I think I have one on my channel, but it's quite old. So I do recommend having a look around to see if you can find a more updated version, because I don't think my way is the most efficient way, but I have my own way of doing it so I don't get lost. Anyway, I'm gonna go through the Afterlands to save you guys watching me do this theme dungeon, and yeah, I'll see you guys at the end of this, and hopefully by the end of it we'll be like level 100 and something. That would be ideal. Like if we can get past 105, it'll be perfect. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so with that, we've finished the Afterlands, so now we should have 4 totems, or rather 3 totems that we can use, and also got a good amount of EXP, so we didn't actually have to train at all, and we work towards some more items to put into our inventory. So we get 4 of them, but we only need to use 3 of them, 2 of which, one of them are main stat and secondary stat, and then the third one, I guess it doesn't really matter. yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to do regarding the Afterlands. It's good EXP and it gets us to level 100 and something, in this case 104. Now what we should do is actually start the next event. So we get a new event here, this Identisk event. It's one that came along with the New Age update. And I believe this is like a pretty typical event where we can get points and then spend the points to get things. So let me just get through this cutscene and I'll see you guys after this. So I actually haven't really looked into this event, honestly. I only really looked into the things we get for Hyperion and the things we get for our hyper burning. So this is kind of like new to me as well. But my understanding is it just looks like a pretty typical coin capping event, and we can use those coins in various shops to get some bonuses and stuff like that. Alright, so I just had a quick look at the event here that we have. So my understanding is that there's a few things going on. There's actually quite a lot going on in this event. And I think the general gist is there are two kinds of capping that you need to do. One of them is just this basic exploration where it just gives you stuff every day. So it gives you these 500 coins and you get stuff throughout the day, or stuff throughout the week rather. And you can do this where you have to kill 2,000 mobs to be able to fill up one of the spots. And you can do this 3 times a week or something like that. And alongside this we also have this food house storage thing, which looks like you just kind of beat up some mobs and then you get some EXP, so that looks pretty interesting. I think for now I'm gonna leave the event just to have a better understanding from other people first and then come back to it, so I probably won't touch too much on this event. I'm mostly just focusing on just my account progression and we'll just go on from there. Speaking of account progression, the next step now that we hit level 100 is to go do our 4th job advancement. So let's go do our 4th job advancement and move on to the next step, which is to start working towards some of our pre-quests and start collecting some items for our character. So I'll see you guys in a bit when I do my 4th job advancement. And there we go, we get our 4th job advancement. This will unlock pretty much all the skills we're going to be using until level 200. So unfortunately this also means that we don't get much stronger until level 200. But I guess that's fine, we'll just slowly get our way there. And alongside that we also get our level 100 item, I believe it's this one. Now we have our new emblem. This is basically our best in slot emblem, and that's always good. We have something that we can slowly upgrade, and yeah, we'll just be working on that throughout the time. Also for hitting level 100 we get some stuff for our Hyperion burning, and for that we also get this Hyperion ring. It's not much, but I guess it is something that we can use, just extra stats, and yeah, just free. We have plenty of inventory slots to try to fill out, so that's perfectly fine. Another thing we get for hitting level 100 is this legendary cryptic chest. It will give us our frozen weapon and frozen secondary and also the frozen armors. These are probably as good as you're going to get until we hit level 150. They have some pretty good stats, and I believe the set bonus is actually pretty good as well, so let's get these on. I probably won't Star Force any of it unless I really need to. I think for now I'm okay just wearing it as is. I'm not expecting to spend too much money or any money at all to upgrade them, but you can. They're pretty cheap. You can just get some cheap Star Forcing, and yeah, we'll just be using this until we hit our 150 where we get some Chaos Root Abyss gear. Until then, this is going to be our loadout, and we're going to start by just actually training. I think this also coincides with this Identisk event. I believe one of the things requires us to kill 2,000 mobs, so let's go do our 2,000 mobs. And I'll just go to random places to go do that. While I train, I'm also going to be looking out for a rune. I did hit level 100, so that means I can go do Zakum. So once I find a rune, I will probably pop a 2x coupon that we got from just this event in general. We have quite a few of them. I'll just make sure to pop one after getting the rune, and I'll go do Zakum to get another chunk of EXP. I know that it's been nerfed, but I think the EXP is still pretty decent. I'll just go train and then kill Zakum, see how much EXP we can get. well, I just cut it a bit close there on my my rune timer. It just basically just ran out. I got lucky enough to get a rune of might, so I decided to jump around for a little bit for some easy EXP. And then I got a gold portal that happened to be I think his name is Polo, and gave me the snowfield area, and that gives a hell of a lot of EXP. And then we had just enough time to kill Zakum. And on top of that, we even managed to get an epic pot under the Aquatic Eye accessory, which is very convenient. It's going to be pretty much what we're going to use for quite a while. Wow, and the flame's actually usable too, so I'm pretty happy with that. We also got the second drop, which is the Condensed Power Crystal, and this is a direct upgrade from what we got from our Rihanna Strait, so that's quite nice. I'll probably Star Force that in a bit. I do have 26 minutes left on this half-an-hour coupon, so I might as well use it to go train. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all we need to do now. Just try to get to 140, and then I'll explain what I'm going to be doing once I hit to 140, because I think there's some things that we should start doing. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I'll just show myself training up to 140, and yeah, we'll catch up after that. Alright, so we have just hit level 140, and I think this is like one of the few breakpoints in an early character's progression, so I might just explain what I'm doing here a little bit for those who are interested. So the first thing is we actually get some points into our Hyper Seal, so we unlock these. It's just extra abilities a lot of the time for a lot of characters, and yeah, it's just pretty much some extra buffs. We also start to unlock these passive skills, so they just kind of buff our existing skills, and you unlock them as you level up. The same with these active skills. So that's one thing. Another thing is that we also get hyper stats. So those are pretty similar as well. As you level up, you can put points into various stats. And for me, I think I'm just going to put them into EXP for the time being. I'm not having too much trouble doing damage at the moment, and we'll level up pretty fast. So I think the EXP is pretty valuable. So that's another thing that we get to unlock. And now I think we get something pretty neat from the Hyperion supply drop now that we hit 140. This is the 120. So for the 140, we get a lot of money, and I'm mostly curious about this boss accessory set. So I didn't know about this until just now. I believe it just gives you one of each of the boss accessories. Wow, that's pretty good. I don't know if the items are temporary or not, so let's throw out some of these spare items. Make some space for the equips, and we'll see what we get. Oh, okay, we should just get guaranteed drops effectively. Okay, that's pretty convenient. Wow, we can actually just replace everything we have for the time being. That's fantastic. Well, that clears up a lot of space, and I guess we didn't need to really get lucky on these items. Like, I got these from Zakum. It's pretty lucky that I got this as a epic drop, but having it guaranteed from this box is very nice. This is a very nice boost. It gives a lot of extra stat, actually. So I think I'll just Star Force this up in a second. So with all those items in mind, another thing that we should probably upgrade is our boots and I think our gloves. I probably should have picked them up as we went along, but we do hit level 140, so I think these are probably the best shoes for the time being. These Pencilier shoes, and I think we'll probably use the Pencilier gloves for a little bit until we can replace them with something better. And I guess that's pretty much it at 140 regarding the items. Now, the next thing that we need to do is this Temple of Time quest line, and the reason that you need to do this is because it unlocks Pink Bean as a boss, I believe. You need to do this to unlock the 160 quest, which will then unlock Pink Bean. So this would be what I'll be doing. I guess I'll also level up along the way. So we'll see how much XP it gives. It gives, from memory, like a decent amount. We'll probably get to like 160 and then be able to follow up with the additional quest. And while I was getting to 140, I actually hit the 2000 mobs, so we actually do finish our in-depth exploration. Now, I had a quick ask around regarding some more things about this Identisk event, and it looks like this food house or food storehouse event gives a lot of EXP, and you're meant to use it alongside EXP coupons and stuff like that, from what I understand. So as soon as I finish the 160 event, I'll probably go straight into the food storehouse to see how much EXP it gives. But by the sounds of it, it sounds like it gives quite a lot. So with that being said, I'll just go straight into this pink bean prequest, and I'll see you guys at the end of that. So I just finished up the pink bean prequest, and I haven't hit 160 yet, so I can't continue on that. So I'll probably just have to come back to this in a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly try out this Identisk food storehouse event thing. I'll give it a go and see how it is. I heard that the EXP is quite good, so I guess you guys can experience it with me. My understanding is that we just need to go in and kill 1500 mobs, and yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Well, actually not 1500, only 1000. Alright, let's see how it goes. Wow, actually speechless. I've been here for a few takes to try to explain what I just saw. That was a ridiculous amount of EXP, and given that I only had a 2x, I didn't have any like MVP or rune. Like in hindsight, I probably should have picked up a rune to make the most out of it, but holy, that gave a lot of levels. That gave 20 levels, so like 6 level ups or something like that. That's an insane amount of EXP, and all I can say is I'm definitely going to try to make the most out of this, whether it be on this character or on another. In only like 5 minutes, that gave a fair amount, like a big chunk of EXP, so maybe it will probably taper off when we go to high levels. I might try to find out a better way to make use of this resource, maybe to try to make better links. We'll just have to see, but damn. That was a very impressive amount of EXP in such a short amount of time. Okay, that's enough of me being confused about that event room. Let's just keep going on our pre-quest journey here. Let's continue on with this pink bean one now that we're actually above 160, just to finish up the pre-quest so we can actually fight pink bean when we're strong enough. And there we have it, we finally finished the pink bean prequest. We just needed to get this Marble of Chaos, and now we should be able to get into the boss room now. Should say that it's unlocked. There you go. So we can actually go and fight the boss if we could, but I don't think we're strong enough to even do normal pink bean. But eventually we will clear him, because he does give a pink bean cup, which is a boss accessory that we can use in our pocket slot, and it will be basically best in slot. Speaking of the pocket slot, you do need to have level 30 charm to open it, and thankfully they did give us some trait boost potions. So let's see, I'm not really sure how much these give, but from what I recognize, it looks like the boost one is most likely going to be the one we're going to use, just so we use one of those, and we'll just put it into charm, and that should put it to 30, hopefully. Okay, exactly at 30. And with that, we can unlock our pocket slot, but of course I don't need to do it just yet. But we will do that as soon as we get a pocket item. So there's a few more things that I would like to do before I close out this video, or at least show what I'm going to do, and I'll just probably off-screen it, is we want to do 2 runs of Maple Tour. So this will give us a good amount of money every day. This is going to be like probably one of our main sources of income. And we'll just keep trying to do this as often as we remember, twice a day, and hopefully it's not too long. And the other thing I want to try to do every day is Monster Park. So Monster Park gives us a lot of EXP. We can do this 7 times a day, and there's a few things that I want to get from it. One is obviously the EXP, which is pretty good, but the other thing is that we can use the coins to buy these pots, which will help us later on for bossing, these green and red pots. In my case, I guess it'd be green and blue pots. And then we'll also have these gold pots to give us some extra EXP while we train. And then we'll also want to try to get this greed pendant, so then we can get that extra 20% drop rate for when we eventually do bosses, and we do want the item drop rate. But this is quite far away, so this is not really a priority, but it's something that we can go for. Keep in mind that you get 2 free entries a day, and if you want to do 7 a day, you will have to go into the cash shop. And in the cash shop, we can buy these additional entry tickets for 3.5 mil each, and given the fact that they gave us plenty of money, we can probably stock up on these and we'll be good to go. So I'm just going to buy 5 of these for today's runs, And yeah, so that'll give us our 7 entries for the day. Also for hitting 170 we get another supply drop, and this will give us a ring. This ring is actually quite good. It's a event ring, so this will be basically our best in slot for quite a while. It will take a while for us to fully fill out our ring slots, but we just pick any of these. All of them are the same stat, they just have a different name. So I'll just take the awake ring. And yeah, here we go. We just now have another ring slot filled out. We'll probably be using these event rings for quite a while until we can get real ones, but it will definitely take a long time. And one more thing before I wrap up this part, it's already been quite a long journey already. I'm going to do one character to do the 0 to 100, so I don't have it anymore here, it's over here. I can do one character to 0 to 100, which is basically like a power level. You just stay in a map similar to the Identisk event that we just did, where we just kill mobs and get a lot of EXP. I'm going to put a character that I think is going to be hard to train to 100, and then I'm going to put it into this room so then it can go do that. So I'm going to go quickly make the character now, and then show you guys which one I want to get to 100, and then we can end the video. So the second character I'm going to make on this account, and I guess my first link skill, is going to be Evan. Personally speaking, I think that Evan is one of the more annoying classes to train. Its pre-4th job isn't very good, but after 4th job, at least the mobbing gets a lot better. But for the most part, training it is not that great. So I'm going to opt to play Evan. And on top of that, the whole link skill for Evan is actually quite good. It gives us extended duration on the rune. So we actually train a lot faster. In hindsight, I probably should have made this before I finished the Temple of Time prequest. So at least I would have gotten a little bit more extra EXP while doing that prequest. So anyway, let me make my Evan character and then we'll chuck it into the 0 to 100 and see how it is. So we just hit level 10 on the Evan. The prequest, of course, is quite long as well. But we get this little dragon, and I think from here we might actually be able to do the 0 to 100 challenge. Let me just have a quick look. We have our first job skills, so I'm leaning towards yes, we probably should be able to. Whether or not this is a good idea at level 10 straight away is another question, but I guess we'll find out when we go in there. Let's see if we can actually go. Oh, yep, we have the 0 to 100 thing, and let's give it a go. So I don't know if we should have put EXP mods in, but it looks like we probably don't need to. And just judging off of the amount of EXP you get from just leveling up, that's pretty crazy already. Okay, this is pretty ridiculous. This is a very nice boost that we need for a new account. With 7 characters that level up like this, one every day, we can get to 700 Legion and a bunch of link skills really, really quickly. So I'll stop talking for now, and I'll just try to get to level 100 to see how long it takes. Wow, and there we go, we got to level 100. That was extremely fast. Let's have a quick look. It took half an hour from me creating the character to get to level 100, and I think half of that time was actually just me getting through level 0 to 10. That's actually kind of crazy how fast that was. But that is to be expected. This event is quite strong for these early levels, and the whole point of it is, I guess, to give newer players or players who move to Hyperion a little bit of a head start so it doesn't feel so bad starting in a new world. So yeah, that's been a pretty pleasant leveling experience, and I will be definitely making most of this trying to get some easy cheap links and then starting to use those to build up my Legion again. And I think choosing Evan as a first one was a pretty good idea, just because at the very least I will have a good training link, and Evan isn't exactly the most pleasant to train pre-100. I think it does get better at 4th job, but up to 4th job it's very, very boring. To finish things off with this Evan for today, I'm going to quickly grab a rune and then go kill Zakum. That way I can at least get the once a day Zakum clear, and hopefully at level 100 I'm strong enough. I'm actually not too sure whether or not I'm strong enough to kill Zakum at level 100 exactly. I remember having issues back in the day. So yeah, it should be interesting to see at the very least. So hopefully I can kill him within the 3 and a bit minutes that I have. Okay, so we can kill him at level 100. Not exactly the most pleasant killing experience, but we got there in the end. So at least we have like a somewhat reliable training method for the Evan as well. And depending on how I feel, I might put this into the Identisk mobbing arena, the food storehouse event thing. It looks like a pretty easy way to get this character to 120 and maybe 140. And the main reason I want to try to get this character to 140 is I think we do get a lot of extreme growth pots. And with the extreme growth pots, I don't actually have any characters to put it on. So putting it on an Evan seems reasonable. I don't think there's too much to say about that. Let's just have a quick check. So yeah, it looks like we do get a fair amount of extreme growth pots. So I don't hate the idea of putting my Evan to 140 using the Identisk event. This one, the storehouse. So yeah, that's definitely something I'll have to consider with this character. Anyway, I think that is all I wanted to do in this part. There's still quite a lot of things that I need to get done on this character to fully set it up before I can kind of focus on training. You can see here, I'm actually kind of pretty much taking my time because I feel like rushing levels for me isn't a priority. The only thing that I get earlier, I suppose, is to start getting my arcane symbols earlier. But arcane symbols are one of those things where eventually you will max out anyway, so not exactly something I care for rushing. I feel like the arcane symbols are probably the least of my worries right now. I'm just trying to get just my account set up, working on Link's Legion and pre-quest at the moment. But yeah, anyway guys, thanks for joining me on the first part. I think this video is going to be quite long, and I do apologize for that, but it's good to be back, and I'm glad to be able to share this journey with you guys. Anyway, I think that is all from me today. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next part, and as always, take care and have a nice day.